Alright, hey, wonderful good day everybody and welcome back here to my channel. Today is a good day because Astrolabe has been banned in Modern. Was he actually copied what we did in Project Modern, and I'm pretty happy with the decision. Of course, there's still Veil of Summer and a couple of other obnoxious cards running around, but it's a step into the right direction, and now I think Modern is going to open up again. So it was suffocated for the most part by all these green blue based mid range decks that just did too much at too little cost. Now the cost actually came back attached to the color preferences that people have. So that 4 color piles now have to shock in order to get there. Of course, Uru is still a strong card. I don't expect the snow piles to go away completely. It's possible that they are changing a lot, potentially getting rid of Ice Fang Coil because that card now, of course, is significantly worse, but still a good card nonetheless. Yeah, but overall, that should benefit us as Grixis players, and we're going to try to exploit the meta as far as we can. So let's talk about the deck. Right now, I am playing the Thought Scour Tasker package as last time. I changed the main board a little bit in order to accommodate more counter spells. But for the most part, I do like Thought Scour and Tasker right now because all my 1 toughness creatures are being caught by Lava Dart specifically. So it's really difficult with my other build, the more Nimble Obstructionist, Brazen Borer build. More flexible, more tempo-ish. Um, yeah, it's just more difficult to deal with these mono red or prowess decks that are running Lava Dart and other cheap removal spells. Because you're always trading down for the most part, and it's just not worth the mana investment. So Tasker gives a very good body at very little cost. Most of the time I can keep up counter magic, and if I can't, I now have access to Force of Negation to protect the Tasker. Um, and additionally, against all these snow piles and Uru, etc., Tasker also gives me a lot of value over time, which is also nice. Plus, Thought Scour and Tasker together also facilitate Cling to Dust, both in terms of the escape cost as well as just hitting it. So it's more consistent with these two in the deck, and Jace of course as well. So yeah, that is why currently I prefer this package, and since Veil of Summer is still a thing, and I think that we have to fight these very aggressive decks, especially if the meta is changing rapidly right now. I do want to have additional removal spells, plus the life gain from Cling to Dust occasionally, so that should be pretty fine there. Then the 2-drop slot is mostly the same as always. We do have a little bit of removal, a little bit of counter magic, and Drown Loch as basically a combination of Logic Knot and Terminate. I don't want to overextend into Drown Lochs because Cling to Dust, etc. Like we're also taking away a couple of cards from our opponents, and Graveyard Hate will still be prominent, so people can also target themselves with their own Graveyard Hate. Plus, Ashiok, of course, makes Drownloch also significantly worse. Um, then I, as I already said, replaced the Bone Crusher Giant and Brazen Borer with Force Negation and Archmage Charm. I was actually pretty happy with Bone Crusher Giant specifically. Just a good body. Most of the time it just deals 4 damage due to being hit by some sort of removal at some point. And it is a sweet 2-for-1 most of the time as well. So could see it coming back. It's also good with Color Guns command. But right now I think I would prefer the Force of Negation. I'm not 100% on that, but I want to try it out and see how it goes. Then in regards to the sideboard, I actually switched up quite significantly due to the fact that we're playing so much counter magic in the main board right now. So we're running 6-10 counter spells, plus all the recursion with Snapcaster and Jace, and potentially Tasker. so that in the sideboard I don't need any counter magic. So in the sideboard I'm focusing on big mana strategies, especially Eldrazi Tron, and Titan decks, for which only Fulminator or only Ashok is just not good enough. You need to have more consistency in your hate. Otherwise, you might occasionally win one game, but then lose game 3. And yeah, the rest of the deck is dedicated to basically creature decks, prowess decks, burn with Collective Brutality and Tasker. And there's Jax's Jailer in here as well, just to fight Dredge if we should encounter it. Alright, that's it for the deck tag. Let's jump into the league. Alright, welcome to round number 1. We are facing off Strong Smash. And our hand is okay. We have good mana. We have a couple of cantrips. We shall see. Could go either direction. Either we draw exactly what we need, or we just build over what we need and then draw what we don't need. Alright, this is already pretty bad. We're facing off against Primeval Titan here. I'm actually inclined to mill him. Oh my goodness, that was actually a pretty good hit. Although we did draw a so I'm gonna fetch for a basic swamp, although that's not perfect because we might draw into an Archmage's Charm. I'm not gonna target his stuff because of Drownenloch. Oh yeah. Alright. So yeah, we drew 3 lands out of our 3 draws, which is perfect. And there's another Amulet of Vigor, which is almost as perfect. Terminate. So Terminate is not a bad card. It's not perfect, but it's also not bad. I'm gonna shock here because since we have the other Steamens in hand already, I would have to go for a Blood Crypt with my fetch, and therefore, like just in case, and then I wouldn't be able to go with Thought Scour here. There's a Valakut, could be relevant as well. We don't know yet. There is the Drownenloch that I was talking about. So very good that we hit our opponent here twice. Now he does have 6 cards in his graveyard. And I think we actually hit a couple of relevant cards. I don't know how many Valakuts he's playing. Could be more than one, but due to Vesuva, it could also just be one. Yeah, I will allow that. Because it is going to be Dryad or Azusa. And now, if we counter this... I mean, next turn we don't need to do anything anyway. Okay. But if we draw a Cryptic Command now, then our opponent is actually dead. And I think that out is good enough to warrant doing that. Alright, we got one more try. Come on, give me a Cryptic. Yes. play 2 our rounds, and beat our opponent. Very good, very good, very good. So generally speaking, of course in this matchup, Nimble Obstructionist would be great. A great card to have. I think I'm gonna go with Thoughtseize, ditch the Cling to Dust, go with Ashiok and Fulminator Mage. And what else do I want to get rid of? So Fatal Push is actually, yeah, I don't think that I need the Lightning Bolts right now. So Fatal Push is good because it kills Dryad of the Elysian Grove. And our opponent is also playing Sakura Tribe Scout. Yeah, I think this is what I want to go with. I could also actually board Damnation, just in case our opponent is able to activate the Field of the Dead. But that might be a stretch goal, so we're not doing that. We are recording, so all good. I would say the hand's bad, but I think it's a mulligan, because it would take quite a bit to actually make this hand work against our opponent. And so we do have a couple of good hits here. Oh shit. No lands. Alright. So what do I want to keep? Don't want to keep the Snapcaster, and we are on the draw. How important is my Thought Scour? It is important. It enables a couple of things. I need the Cold Guns command and the Armage Charm as well though. So I think I'm gonna ditch the Polluted Delta, hope that we're gonna draw another land. We have a little bit of time and a couple of redraws. So yeah, and that's why I wanted to keep the K commands. Alright. Let's go with this one, then target our opponent again. We could, of course, also just take over the Amulet of Vigor with the Archmage's Charm. But if we're running into a Dryad of Elysian Growth here, yeah, definitely gonna be a Dryad. Yeah, and that's gonna be problematic, I'm not gonna lie. So if this is a Dryad, then he's gonna replay the other card, or an Azusa. Azusa is slightly better for us, because K-Command can actually kill it, but it's also more explosive for our opponent. Yeah. Actually quite a sick turn too. I mean, Dryad would even be more scary, but Azusa is already pretty strong. Yeah, that is pretty fucked up. So now we can only hope that he doesn't have another bounce land, because otherwise we're going to be hit by a Titan next turn. And that's basically the absolute nuts here. Like, there might have been some better with another Amulet of Vigor. That's off the top. But other than that, there is just nothing that really does this. Alright, so I'm gonna go after the Dryad nonetheless in his turn, just in case there's a Veil of Summer. It's not perfect, obviously, but it at least costs him one more mana if he does have it. And then we can go after Azusa and Amulet of Vigor. that's everything that my opponent does have here. Oh my goodness. Then we might actually just stand a chance. So now it's interesting here. We could theoretically also go after the Sakura Tribe Scout. He apparently doesn't have any more lands in hand, but I still need to stop him from doing stuff. I think the best play here is still going after the Azusa. Could have another one, of course, as one of the cards that he does have in hand. But now next turn I can go with Tasker and have the Archmage Charm as a backup. Yeah, I did have another one. Probably, right? Yeah. So obviously, yeah, so cannot play the Tasker right now. I'm short one card. Like if we had drawn a fetch, then it would be possible, but not this way. Another Tribe Scout. Yeah. So obviously I could steal the other Tribe Scout and block, get its 3-2 for 1. But I think we can draw 2 cards here. Leave up the Water Grave just in case we draw a failed push. Alright. There's the failed push as well. So obviously we're milling away a couple of, or delving away a couple of really good cards here that we would like to have access to later on as well. But just having access to cryptic commands here and generating card advantage through the Tasker in case he doesn't do anything is already pretty strong. Alright, we're gonna counter that because he doesn't have more lands. Spell Pierce, oh my goodness. Alright. Yeah, we cannot really attack despite everything. And as soon as he just draws any land, it's gonna go nuts. Alright, there's the Titan. And I guess we're just gonna counter draw. Okay, so failed push can also go get rid of the Dryad of Elysian Growth now. The thing is that I might not want to utilize the fatal push now due to the Tasker. So that I get potentially get a cryptic back. Because otherwise he will definitely give me the fatal push. It's not the worst, of course, but I need to have some sort of counter magic. On the other hand, we do have a pretty good turn where we can go Terminate and Tasker activation as well. But killing one Tribe Scout here with a field push doesn't seem worth it. Now let's do it. It's still annoying and it does get double strike, so we're still losing to a turn. Alright, cool. I'm gonna go kill that thing. And then we can start attacking. Because now he doesn't have red mana, so that Sunhome actually costs him the Gemstone Cavern, and then he needs to draw something else. Ghost Quarter. Sure. Alright, so let's fetch. We might, it's probably going to hit a Watered Grave at some point, but I do not want to shock here. Therefore, I'm just going to go with an island. We can still fetch for a basic Swan there. Force of Negation, sure. Drown is also pretty good. Interesting. Alright. Tularia West, okay. Cannot prevent it without a Nimble. Cavern of Souls is a good card. And then the next Titan, but he has to draw the Titan naturally, otherwise we can still do stuff against it. Ashiok would be a good card to give us, I guess. So I'm gonna target him. 2 good hits for the most part. That's also good. We're gonna attack. And then I'm gonna go. He's not gonna block with the Azusa, I assume. And then we're gonna go draw step, hit the Azusa, make him discard. And we still have a Tasker activation on top of that. Alright. Talakut, of course, not the best hit, but also not the worst. Pretty fine with that. So 2 times in a row we actually milled Ashok and Creeping Torpid together, which is pretty interesting. Alright, Thoughtseize. The only thing that really gets us is a Titan. I feel like there might be coming one. Nope. But the Fulminator Mage is pretty good to have. Like if he doesn't have... Alright, good. Such a close call. Alright, but Fulminator Mage will get rid of the Cavern of Souls and then it's over. Then he can't do anything anymore. Okay, so that, and that. Just making sure. And then we could even play the Jace, but he knows that he lost. Alright, good games, opponent 2-0 for us. Off to the next round. Welcome to round number 2. This time we are on the draw. I believe we were on the play last game. And this looks to be, like from the get-go, it's either Storm or it is Prowess. Although with the Serum Visions it's probably Storm. Prowess usually doesn't start off with the Serum Visions. The good thing about it is that our hand's pretty stacked against Storm. In case it would be Storm. Yeah, very likely is. So let's see. I could use the time to just play the Jace. The only issue with that would be that if our opponent does have an Electromancer or a Baral, then I would have to go and kill the next turn, even if I could stop him comboing off. Therefore, I'm not going to do that. Keep Jace back to ditch it to Force of Negation. Okay. I think I'm going to Logic Knot that. And then we can go end of turn Archmage's Charm into hopefully a fourth. Well, there is the fourth land already. Then we can keep up Dronloch and deploy the Jace as well. So since we do have 2 more counter spells plus the Snapcaster Mage plus the Jace, I think it's okay to be a little bit more aggressive here with the drawing cards to actually get ahead in this game, and then we can still filter with the Jace afterwards. But we need to survive this turn. Yeah, if he shocks, he's gonna go for something. Definitely gonna counter Electromancer. Alright. Nothing else to come. Good. So what do I need? Is there anything that I need in particular? Do not believe so. So more mana in general is pretty good, but I might want to keep a Thought Scour. Let's see. 2, 2, 3. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go this way. Then I do have Snapcaster plus Thought Scour if I need to counter something, and have a Force of Negation backup to catch like a gift, ungiven or whatever. So typically don't want to hit our opponent here. There's definitely going to be a gifts ungiven here. Pretty sure about it. Because otherwise I don't know what he's actually holding back there. I might be missing a payoff card. So let's see. Still do have that and that. Nothing in particular that I need to go for right now. And then the Jays. Actually might already start giving me a little bit of card advantage here. Interesting indeed. So now I'm just gonna fetch the Steam Vents, go with the K command, return the tasker, and make him discard. Nope, I'm gonna make him lose life, I think. Something's off here. My opponent does have 6 cards in hand. Alright, there's the room. No, there's gifts ungiven. Alright. Yep. I could have, of course, countered that, but my opponent does have so many cards in hand that I would rather counter a Pass in Flames with it. Alright, let's ditch Grape Shot and probably Remand. And then he has to discard another card. We get the Tasker. He ditches Desperate Ritual. Now we do have 6 cards. My opponent does have 6 cards in hand, but if I do keep my 6 mana up here, I actually have the ability to go with Drown, Snap Drown plus Force Backup, or alternatively just go with an end of turn Snapcaster Mage. And I think those options are good enough to I'm already going to start here. It is possible that we're running into an Empty the Warrens. Therefore, I don't want to give him any mana whatsoever. Because he needs another untapped land here. Alright. So now I'm gonna play the Drown Loch, so that next turn I do have Snapcaster Drown again. Okay. So we survived this turn. Next turn is gonna be equally hard, I think. We're gonna put him down to 7 here. And I could go with a Tasker. And the Thought Scour is probably gonna target myself in order to potentially find a Lightning Bolt. So that even if he does go with Empty the Warrens here, we're still able to finish him off. Yeah. Those cards I want to keep. And again, I'm going to counter basically anything that is coming around. Right, there's Remand. And that hopefully means that we're good to go here. Yeah. Alright. So he was definitely planning on casting an Empty the Warrens there. So I guess Ashok's pretty good. Plague Engineer for Empty the Warrants. I do want to have Thoughtseize, I want to have Collective Brutality and Jigsaw Jailer. Let's see. So on the draw, I'm gonna ditch the Jaces. I want to ditch the Terminates. Ashok's actually pretty good. I mean, he's playing a fetchless version, I think. Therefore, the only card that really that Ashok really prevents is Gifts Ungiven. So it's either keep Cling to Dust or play with Ashok. I'm gonna cut the Ashok again because on the draw is just a lot worse. Jailer I don't need. And then there's two more cards that I need to drop here. That's probably gonna be Collective Brutality. Brutality is a little bit more versatile and gives me additional reach though. Maybe I'm just gonna go and get rid of two Cryptics here. You still have 10 counter spells at that point. Currently 12. Yeah. Because we need to be able to kill Electromancers, and with Remands up, Cryptic Commands are just a lot harder to cast. Yeah, this is gonna be Mulligan. This is a horrible hand. Alright, so there we are. Collective Brutality here. Think we're gonna ditch the Cascade Bluffs. And Island. Insane how many times we have to fetch to 5 already. Like only the 4th game in our second match, and 50% of the time we actually had to fetch to 5. Right, there's Baral, which we anticipated. Obviously gonna go and fetch Shock here for a Steam Vents, and then a Pollute Delta into a Water Grave. And then we're gonna... Well, we could ditch the Cling to Dust. Oh man. Second Cling to Dust, that ain't good. Alright, Repeal is close to relevant. Desperate Rituals are annoying, but I think I'm gonna go for the Metamorphose here. Although, if he finds something like a... No, he will be able to draw to play it anyway. So I'm gonna go with a Metamorphose. And then we're gonna Cling to Dust the Metamorphose in order to hopefully draw another card. Land. So that's gone. That ain't great. But at least the Repeal is gonna have a hard time getting that Tasker off the battlefield. It's possible, of course, but he has to spend a lot of mana. It's 2 cards on the bottom. Alright, so I'm gonna go Snapcaster to Lightning Bolt the Goblin Electromancer, since we still know what he does have in hand, and he didn't put a card on top. I think this is still the best play. And then we have Archmage Charm, yeah. As protective means, but I can also go end of turn, Cling to Dust, or another card. I get rid of the Serum Visions. Yeah. So, quick side note, in Project Modern, Preordain is actually unbanned, and therefore the Storm decks are currently running Preordain, which is quite interesting to see, to say the least. Okay, so now we actually, so you put one card on top, one card on bottom, right? So I'm gonna go Thoughtseize him, but I'm gonna attack first. Three rituals and repeal. Well, to be entirely honest here, so I don't really care about the repeal, but I do care about the desperate rituals here. And I'm also gonna go ahead and fetch right now in order to not be caught off guard in the fetching process at the end of turn. Right, not doing anything. Drown Lock is also good. One Cling to Dust can go. And I guess no, have to go. Have to take the other one as well. So you cannot repeal the Tasker without having. Yeah, and that's fine. Like repealing my Snapcaster Mage is actually okay. So just in case there is an Empty the Warrens coming here. So I think I'm just gonna replay the Snapcaster Mage right now, and then if we draw a Lightning Bolt or he's gonna give us the Collective Brutality off of Tasker, then it's gonna be a 2-turn clock. I want to keep the Cryptic Command back for the most part, due to the fact that so now he actually cannot give me the Collective Brutality, otherwise it just dies. So he has to give me the Thoughtseize, which I actually prefer if he doesn't have if he does have interaction. All right, he's conceded from the game. Good games, and see you in round number 3. All right, welcome to round number 3. We are on the draw once more. And I believe we keep this. It's a little bit difficult with the cryptic command, but Force of Negation potentially is a card that can utilize or make some use of out of the cryptic command if we have to fight on that axis early on. Also, something that I have to get used to when I'm playing Force of Negation, I have to stop F6ing through turns, because otherwise I just skip the ports where I would have to interact with my opponent. Oh great. We're playing against Amulet Titan again. Are you fucking kidding me? That is really annoying, I have to say. I do not know why they are back in such huge force right now. But that doesn't seem like it's coincidence that we're running into two Titan decks in our first 3 matches here. But yeah, alright. So could have targeted my own spell there, of course. Might make a difference down the road, we shall see. But if there's a Dryad of Legion Grove coming right now, then I won't be able to get rid of it. Azusa, on the other hand, I can't get rid of. So it appears that our opponent does not have or is trying to hide another land. And it has to be an untapped one, otherwise he won't be able to activate Castle Garenbrig next turn. Nonetheless, though, we also do have a couple of problems here with the Drowned. Would definitely need to find a Thought Scour to be able to do anything. Why is Castle Garenbrig like so dark right now? That is even worse than because now I actually cannot counter anything. Like he's gonna get a Titan of a Fierce Empath. So keeping up this Snapcaster Mage doesn't make any sense anymore. I could of course kill the Empath, but I think I need to try to find another counter spell here. Instead of trying to make Drone Lock work somehow. Alright. That at least is a counter spell. So I'm not gonna run into that Fierce Empath thing, because if he attacks, I still attack for more, and once we draw a K command, that would be fine. Yep. Yep. Do I want to kill the Sakura Tribe Scout? I think so. On the one hand, because it blocks my beautiful view, but on the other hand, of course, because of land shenanigans. Steamman's tapped. And we're flooding out here a little bit, which ain't good. But it's possible that our opponent just isn't able to find any payoff card. Or in his case, not a payoff card, but... Okay, so... So I think the play, like I could of course get rid of the Fierce Empath and Amulet of Vigor right now, but I think the play is attack with Snapcaster Mage. Since he's eager on blocking, he even left it back. Yep. Then I destroy the amulets in his upkeep and get back the Snapcaster Mage. At that point we have 4 cards in the graveyard, which means Snapcaster could return Drown Loch to kill a return and artifact. Return and kill an artifact. We could kill a Riot of Elysian Grove if necessary. And of course I still do have access to Armor's Charm as well. So since we do not have a whole lot to work with right now, I am just gonna go and keep the Snapcaster Mage in my hand as long as possible. Unless we're drawing other good cards, like other Snapcaster Mages or whatever. Dryad and an Amulet, and we hit a Snapcaster Mage, all of which is pretty decent. So we know he does have a Titan in hand. Yeah, and his reaction there was pretty clearly indicating that, in fact, yeah, it does not make any sense to counter this. In either way. So he could go and fetch a Dryad, of course, but I don't see how that really helps him here. Unless he has like 1 or 2 more Titans in hand, which is possible because he definitely does have some non-land cards in hand still. So let's get Snapcaster and counter Clothis. Interesting, by the way, like you typically don't see Clothis in these types of decks. But yeah, so Titan has got so many new tools in the last year. It's definitely one of the best decks in Modern right now. Like, no doubt about it. Absolutely bonkers. And very, very little weaknesses. I liked Titan as a deck before Dryad of the Elysian Grove, before Clothis and Field of the Dead and Once Upon a Time, but now it's not really skill intensive anymore. Like, there are some degrees, of course, that still require some skill, but it's definitely gotten less. Alright, so do I want to go with a Thought Scour here? Or do I just want to go Light and Bold? I could Bold, attack for 4, put him down to 5. Then he would go, needs to play Titan next turn, which he has to anyway. Put him down to 11. Draw an additional card. I think I'm going to keep my options open here. Now, think I'm lagging a bit right now. Something's a little bit weird. So Logic Knot is actually not a bad card per se. It's still fine. Alright, another Titan. I'm gonna go with the Logic Knot play first, so that potentially I can go Bolt, Bolt, Snap, Snap next turn and just kill him. 1, 2. Just to be safe, let's make it 3. Okay, Drown Loss is actually also a good top card to just have as a backup. Because Dried of the Legion Grove is also a pretty good blocker and will be annoying when it comes down, and I just have a Lightning Bolt and a card spell in hand. But yeah, as I thought, there's just a lot of Titans going on here. Counter. And another Cruel Turf. And now I think I can risk it here. Bolt Snap Bolt into killing him. I mean, it's possible that he does have interaction with that stomping around, but he conceded and therefore probably good enough here for us. So, post-board. We're gonna do the same thing as last time. I want to have the Fulminator Mages, I want to have Ashioks, I want to have Thoughtseize, and potentially nothing else. And I'm gonna cut the Lightning Bolts, I think. Yeah. Especially on the draw. Just want to have as much interaction as possible. So let's see if we have to mulligan to 5 here again. We're really mulliganing a lot. Which is awkward because, like, I'm playing with the Death and Taxes deck, I'm playing significantly less lands, and oh, come on. This is so unreal. Like, honestly unreal. Okay, so turn 1 probably doesn't matter unless he plays a Sakura Tribe Scout, at which point I wouldn't have the Logic Knot up turn 2. Or the Kolaghan's Command turn 3, let's see. So it's either ditching the swamp here, probably have to ditch these two, right? I can't ditch the Fatal Push, and I also can't ditch the Logic Knot. And the Creeping Torpid just slows me down so much. No, I'm gonna ditch the K command. Also, like, I mean, our hands aren't even borderline capable, they're just, like, impossible to play. Ashok's good though. It's a little bit awkward now that I have to fetch for a black source here due to the Sakura Tribe Scout. Because I have to have the Logic Knot on turn 2 to prevent like a Dryad or whatever. Yeah. But now I don't have access to red. Huh. Yeah, I think I have to keep up my Logic Knot here. Like a Dryad on the battlefield threatening my Planeswalker doesn't help me at all. And yeah, and got punished. Motherfucking shithole. So now we actually need quite a bit of stuff. Not only lands, but also a fail push. Okay. I think that's actually fine. So I'm gonna play the Ashok right now. Don't do anything with it. Just keep it around. Then next turn I'm gonna try to block the Dryad and then fail push it. Won't crush a giant, interesting. Okay. So it's good that I didn't utilize it. Um, Now, of course, I cannot protect the Ashok anymore. I'll still make him attack it, because that will probably give me the opportunity to kill the Dryad. But if he does have a Titan in hand, it still spells doom. Because I cannot play around the Cavern of Souls, it's just impossible. And yeah. Yeah, both are attacking the Ashok. And the problem is, of course, that I have to, like, since I don't have a fetch, otherwise I could just block kill. But now, in fact, I do have to. So it doesn't really matter, but I'm gonna block the Bone Crusher Giant and go for the Dryad here. Oops. In his attack step, yes. And then I'm gonna go push the Dryad. Push the Dryad. Push the Dryad. So that one's gone, but now we're gonna be caught by a Titan, and yeah, that's also very annoying. Hmm. I haven't given up on this game yet. It's not looking good, of course. On a mulligan to 5, and he randomly has a Bone Crusher Giant in hand. But still not giving up. Yeah, I'm gonna let the Amulet of Vigor resolve, mostly because right. Okay, this is weird. Why wouldn't he play the Titan off of the Cavern? I actually have no clue. I mean, now it doesn't matter for me because I do have a Snapcaster. Like, I can go after the other Titan there, but that's still weird. Yeah. So I hope that he's going for Boros Garrison here and tries to attack with the Titan. Right. But nonetheless, he's at 20. Now these zombies just... Yeah, it's just all too easy. I think there are no good plays here whatsoever. Yeah, I'm just gonna kill you with the Terminate. But from here on out, like with the Slayer Stronghold here, he like one of his zombies actually attacks for 4. Like I couldn't even keep it up if I wanted to. So I think I'm just gonna concede here. There is nothing I can do to win this game. And typically, like before Field of the Dead, our situation wouldn't be too bad, right? They either combo off here with Slayer Stronghold and Boros Garrison, or you get back into the game, which is fine, I believe. But at this point, all the zombies are just like, okay, what the fuck? And of course, you also have to get all around all the other stuff. So now that we're on the play again, it is worth considering going with lightning bolts again. But I think we're just gonna keep it as is. So please, oh come on, man. Also, like, we're playing 2 Taskers, 2 Fatal Pushes, and have both in hand? Why? Just doesn't seem very likely what's going on here. Alright, we're gonna keep that. Thing is, we could have a turn 2 Tasker. Probably have to play a turn 2 Jace just to get to a turn 3 Fulminator Mage. But yeah, I'm gonna ditch the K commands and go with a Scalding Tarn. Then I'm gonna target myself. Hopefully don't hit lands because I need another land. Okay. I actually thought about it. Like, I thought about going with another black source here for this case, but it didn't seem appealing due to the fact that I need to have red at some point for K command. That That really hurts. That really hurts. Now our Tasker is really, really bad. I guess I could get rid of a Stomping Ground in case there's no Veil of Summer. If there's a Veil of Summer, then I'm fucked. We shall see. Bone Crusher. Oh. Alright, so double good that I didn't actually go for the Jace play here, because he did have a Bone Crush Giant to kill it. Come on, man. Can't be serious. Also, he might have problems finding another red source. Always depends, of course, but we shall see. But exactly as I thought, like he did have problems finding another red source, had to copy my Steam Vents here with his Vezuza, and might be going for a Bone Crusher Giant, which I will counter. We don't have a good way of getting rid of it, and we're already down at 211. Plus, we do have a Snapcaster Mage in hand. So we shall see. Ashiok's good. So Ashiok would allow me to target myself. But that would get or diminish the effect of Dronloch. So part of me wants to keep the Tasker in hand, and part of me, but we have more utility otherwise, so I'm gonna get rid of the Tasker and just play the Ashiok. Right, pass the turn. Jace should be able to get us to a fourth land here at some point, hopefully. And our opponent does have a little bit more fetch action going on than typical Titan decks, so maybe Ashiok is actually better against our opponent here than against some other Titan decks. I wonder how many Bone Crusher Giants he's playing. We're slowly crawling our back into this game, our way back into this game. Ashiok is something that he has to get rid of first. Terminate, like, can get rid of the Titan as soon as he drops it. As well, of course, of Dryads and such. Tasker is a good threat. It's good to have something like that, but oh, you got to be kidding me. That is... wow. What a fucking turn. So now he also does have 4 mana. And we're not drawing a 4th land here. Shit. Alright. Yeah, but I mean, we did everything we could. Our opponent apparently just had like all the answers. He needs an untapped green source in order to activate the Castle Garanbrick, but it's possible that he finds it here. Or has some sort of like Azusa stuff going on. Yeah. That's pretty insane, gotta be honest. Pretty insane hand. Has a beast within. Has the untapped forest here to activate Castle Gallenbrick. And just gets there. So the only chance that we have is now the next turn where he will probably be occupied with 1 turn too late with a polluted delta. Shit. Question is, do I want to flip the Jace or don't I want to flip the Jace? Sometimes it's actually beneficial to not flip it. He's gotten the Vesuva back to hand. Let's kill that anyhow. I do have the Snapcaster Mage to get the Terminate back in case I need to kill a Dryad or something. So I guess drawing additional cards here is actually what I want to be doing. Yeah, he must be planning around a Dryad of Delusion Growth here. Otherwise, I don't think fetching Valakut makes any sense. Yeah, there he goes. Dryad and another Valakut. Both had me, right? Oh, Boras Garrison? Why? Okay. So his cards in hand are at least 1 Vesuva and 1 other land, I think. Now, of course, it is difficult, but I have to kill it. There's no way around it. If he does have another Titan, so be it. But the Dryad kills me here. Also, if he copies the Bushuka Bok, like he should have copied the Bushuka Bok. That was actually not so great, I think. Well, let's see. At this point, we just need a little bit of luck. Like, we need our opponent to be stuck a little. And he apparently isn't. Yeah. Cool, 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 cool. Insane. I think we played it well, but at some point you just can't do anything against it anymore. And this is what I mean, like, yeah. Just no way to get back from this. We're still gonna try though. I'm gonna tap draw that will hopefully give us at least one attack, because Kolaghan's commands can kill the zombie that is common. Yeah, this is potentially gonna be another Dryad. Oh, a Pact of Negation, yeah, that's GG. Yeah, pretty fucked up. And do not tell me, like, yeah. Alright. GG's, off to round number 4. Alright, welcome to round number 4. We are on the play, and I would say we have a decent hand, despite the fact that if we're playing against a non-creature deck, then we can't really do a whole lot, because our force, yeah, we cannot use it right now. So let's see, could be a Death Shadow deck, but they would be playing Blackleaf Cliffs, so I assume that it's just a Junt deck playing Lurrus main. And if that's the case, I hope that we're gonna draw a blue source here, because a turn 2 Renin 6 is almost impossible for us to beat. And not a blue source, but a blue card. Yeah, thanks. I'm gonna Fetch Shock just to make it a little bit more difficult for our opponent to play the Jace. And the Jace, my goodness. Renin 6, of course. Okay. That's something at least, I guess. So our opponents probably also bring in Croxa to the table. Yep. Cannot kill the Tarmogoyf with a Lightning Bolt for those who are new to Modern, because it's a static ability and will count Lightning Bolt as an instant in the graveyard, which will grow the Goyf, and therefore the damage won't be able to kill it. Jace is interesting. He's probably waiting on some sort of discard spell to catch us off guard. Yeah, and Junt should make a comeback now that all these snow decks have been diminished. Okay, let's see if he does have a Kolaghan's command that he wants to do here. Yep, obviously does. So I guess I could actually bounce the Blackleaf Cliffs here. Or just Fetch Shock. Fetch Shock, not Fetch Shock. Just counter draw. I still have a little bit of backup with the Force Negation. It's not perfect, of course, but better than nothing. Yep. My Beluris. I thought so. So Lurus will now provide a card each turn, which means we probably have to just kill the Lurus. But even so, it's not great. Gotta kill Lurus. Although Scavenging Ooze is at least equally important. The only difference being that he only has access to 2 green mana right now. So I'm gonna play the Jace and then keep the Force of Negation up in case he wants to kill the Jace. Still got 4 cards in hand. I'm pretty sure that my Jace is gonna die, but just gotta try it. Like, we only have lands otherwise. So that was actually pretty bad play, because I could draw a Snapcaster Mage now. Unless he just fetch. Yeah, alright. Then it's fine. Then it is fine indeed. Withstood the temptation here. Yeah, and I cannot do anything. Like, I could play the Snapcaster Mage, targeting and terminate. And the longer I wait, the more obvious I make that play. Or I just go after the Liliana, I assume. What happens if I draw a removal spell? That would, of course, would be the best case scenario for us. Yeah, that's not a removal spell. Alright. So I'm gonna cut these. I'm gonna cut Jace because Jace is never gonna survive anything. And then I'm gonna bring in Kalitas. That's gonna be it. Hand is not great, but also not something that I want to ditch due to the fact that Cling to Dust can provide some card advantage over time. Alright, so there's definitely a Ren and 6 coming turn 2. Otherwise, or a Tarmogoyf, it's also possible. Ashok isn't the worst card. Yet still, Red and 6 is a bitch. Alright, it's just a Croxa. We can handle a Croxa, I guess. So what are we gonna ditch? I do need Fatal Push. We do have Cryptics as well. Double black for... I think I'm just gonna get rid of the Lightning Bolt here. Yep. Alright, good decisions all around. So I believe that I will target myself here in order to fuel the Cling to Dust, which will, in the medium turn, provide us with card advantage. I milled over 3 lands, which is good because I didn't want to have any more lands. And, well, I guess just blue source. Tarmogoyf. Yeah, I don't actually care about Tarmogoyf, and Tarmogoyf allows me to use Cling to Dust here, while also maintaining Cryptic Commands as a protective spell. Alright. Drownloch is an okay card. In combination with Kolaghan's command, I can also force him to ditch an additional card to the bin, just in case. There's no card in my graveyard yet that I could or wanted to keep. But he could have a K command, of course. We shall see. Yeah. Somewhat annoying, I really have to say. You have another one? Okay. We shall see. We're just waiting this out. Now I might be... Like, I didn't want to use the Cling to Dust last turn because it forces me to get rid of all the cards in my graveyard. Which also means that... which also means that like Fatal Push, etc. are gone for my Snapcaster Mage. There we go. Right, so now we do have the game under control for the most part. Okay. We're rethinking the whole situation and then. So I kind of want to target the Tarmogoyf, but that just doesn't do anything for me here. So I'm going to target the K commands. And ditch this, 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 and this. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. The perks of playing a blue deck. GG's. Alright, welcome to round number 5, and we have a horrible hand once more. With 5,000 multiples. And this hand's just slightly better. Gonna ditch an island and start off with a fetch land, not the Creeping Tar Pit. And that is not due to it being the best play here, it is due to the fact that if I have 5 lands in my opening hand on Moto, I'm 100% sure that the next card is gonna be a land as well. It's some sort of Moto bug, it always happens. If you have 5 lands in your hand, the next card you draw is a land. But if you fetch, you can prevent that for the most part. Can still happen, of course, but it definitely shuffles the deck in your favor. Come on, opponent. We've had a really rough go the last 2 games. And absolutely nothing we could do about it. The Junt matchup is still somewhat fun, but and I don't blame Boyle. Like, Boyle is an obnoxious card, but I guess it's okay. No, the real problems, the same like with Dryad of the Illusion Grove in Titan, Junt has with Red and 6, and to a certain degree now Lurus, although since it's not a good companion anymore, like as a normal card in the deck, I think it's absolutely fine. Perfect. So typically we would like to do something here, but we don't have anything to ditch. I need to keep up my other Scalding Tarn here for a potential. Oh my goodness. Fuck this. Beat Balmodo over and over again. So unfun, I can't even describe it. So to finish my sentence from before, just wanted to say that most of the cards that came out last year just make the game for the decks that utilize them a lot easier. Like mana fixing and removal. Giving you access to any color and rams you and is a blocker and facilitates cards like Valakut. It's just a little annoying. Yeah, so can't fetch Scalding Tarn needed for a Thought on Seer in case He's fetching for a Cavern of Souls here, which he certainly is going to do. I could take over that expedition map there. Don't think it's worth it though, unless he's really stuck on mana. But even so, he still does have enough for like a Thought Knot. But apparently is stuck on mana. So, gonna wait for his turn, see if he plays a Thorn on Zia. Because if he does, I need to get rid of that one. Oh my fucking god. Milled over Tasker and Cryptic Command. Two of the cards that I definitely wanted to have. So I'm gonna take the damage here, just in case there's a Karn. I still think that there is a Thought Knot here, but you never know. Yeah, that's also a card that I cannot let resolve. Okay. Does have a dismember as well. So since I don't really know what I would keep up the cryptic for, I'll just counter this. Because outside of Eldrazi, he still only has 5 mana, which means like the big Ugin or whatever is not a thing yet. Also, I need to maintain my Jace to activate the fail push. Yeah, seems to be Karn. Which is fine, I guess, because no matter what he draws here, I mean, it could be like a Relic of Progenitus, I guess. Graphic Sketch, sure. So how do I best do this? I'm going to attack the Karn with my Creeping Torpid. Or am I? So I need to find a Kolaghan's command anyway. No, I think I'm gonna Lightning Bolt the Karn to keep up my Archmage's Charm. Then the Jace is gonna protect me from the Matter Reshaper. If there's a Thought-Knot Seer coming, I can then kill the Thought-Knot Seer and draw 2 cards with the Archmage's Charm. Hopefully finding a K command along the way. I can then ditch the K command with the Jace to the bin to protect it from the Thought-Knot Seer. And then, well, I need to find another Kolaghan's command anyway because I can't cast it from the bin. This is a little more problematic though. Target player draws 2 cards. Because only Drown or Terminate help me here. That's neither. Alright. So Jace blocks here. Flips. Tasker does help a little. Ditch Snapcaster Mage. Actually, Tasker can block the Reality Smasher because I can't shrink it with the Jace, which is pretty cool. And so if we have so much mana, I can also activate the Tasker and actually get a little bit of card advantage out of it. Blast Zone, certainly not a bad card for him to have. Terminate is also not a bad card. Alright, let's see. So, I go Torpid, Tasker, Logic Knot. Thought Scours are kind of okay. Lightning Bolts are... depends. Force of Negation I don't want. Snapcaster Mage isn't great either. At least as long as we don't have access to K commands. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get rid of the Lightning Bolt. then I'm going to pass the turn. Then I have 4 mana for Tasker and still have Cryptic Command up, Cryptic Command Terminate up, and can ditch the Snapcaster Mage. That ain't good. That certainly ain't good. So typically Eldrazi Tron only plays like 1 or 2 Allus Dust. And therefore, I mean, we also didn't overextend by any means, but still pretty unlucky for us to have to deal with it here. Sure. So now we're gonna get rid of that. And I assume that we're gonna ditch the fail push. Reason being, we're already on 32 cards. We haven't seen a single Kolaghan's Command yet. And I was gonna say it should happen at some point. Shocking here. Doesn't seem like the appropriate play, just due to the fact that we would instantly die to Walking Ballista. But we also die to a Real Smasher, so. Apparently lots of difficult decisions here for my Eldrazi friend. There's the Thorn on CM. And if we were to draw, like now, I guess a Drownloch. Like we have so many outs right now. With 8 out of our 30 cards, 8 plus a Cryptic Command. So almost 1/3 of our remaining deck is really, really good for us right now. And of course, we could also draw something like Archmage Charm into something else. That would also be totally fine. Or something like this, which we can also utilize. Okay, so obviously it's playing the margins here, but I'm still gonna go after another card. Oh, goodness sake. Goodness sake. Okay. Expedition map, at least, most likely isn't going to kill us here. But what he could get is a scavenger grounds to get rid of the cards in our, or another Cavern of Souls. Okay. Construct. Yeah. Now we're dead. And this is what I mean, like, we have 9 outs to really get there. Our opponent has basically 2. Anyhow. Yep. And I would imagine that the next card that we draw is a Kolaghan's Command. No. It's even worse than that. Alright. So we're gonna bring in the Fulminator Mages. Kalitos, Voltseas. Cling to Dust is gonna go. Lightning Bolt is going. I think that's it. I could, of course, also bring in something like Plague Engineer or Damnation, but that is not really anything that does a whole lot. Because if your opponent does have more than 2 creatures on the battlefield, you were most likely not winning up until that point, and the Damnation will not change that fact. And so a classic Mulligan into 5. Not entirely. I mean, it's not a great hand here. Let's be honest about that. But at least we do have the Archmage's Charms to do something, I guess. So we're gonna keep, and I'm gonna ditch the Logic Knot here. That is a little risky, but we don't have any fetchable sources. Our opponent won't make us discard cards, therefore can't utilize it for the foreseeable future. And now I'm hitting 5 to stop my auto yield, exactly for that. What a shithole of a card. Yeah, that is horrible. Land was good, but we need a blue land. Yep. Dying with grace. And of course, does have the Cavern naturally in hand again. played, opponent. Well played. Alright, cool. Thanks for the cooperation deck. Let's see what that does. Let's say he cannot remove it, redraw terminate into a blue source. 3 big ifs, then we might have a chance otherwise. Even Kalidas cannot turn this around. And of course he does have the dismember as well. Why wouldn't he? Okay, I'm gonna have a look at one more card and then we're gonna concede. Yes! So now we actually found all the non-blue sources in our deck in a row. Perfect. Alright, so we started out 2-0 and we're actually running pretty hot. Pretty good games, and then got fucked over and over. Partly by Moto, partly, just our opponents being a little bit more lucky with the cards that they drew than us. Nonetheless, I think it was a pretty fun league for the most part, and we crushed our opponents Storm and Titan in the first 2 rounds, and then after that it just went downhill. And I think the lesson from today is that sometimes you can play as well as you want, and you're still not going to get there. But anyhow, I hope you enjoyed the league. Thank you for your support, and see you around soon. I'm going to try to post more content again, and therefore there will be a weekly upload again, I hope. Have a good week, guys, and see you around.